Good evening, everybody. This is Mark back here with Team Shooter. Here we give you another free pick. This time it is going to be a Monday Night Football. But before we get into that, let's quickly recap on what happened yesterday. We picked up a win with the Minnesota Vikings as we had them on the money line. We also took them at the spread, so we went 2-0. Now, not to sound frustrated after we just went 2-0 on the day, but these Sunday Night Football games are beginning to feel entirely scripted. There's no reason after going up 14-0 that the Vikings should have only had a 17-14 lead going into the half. We saw this same thing happen a couple weeks ago with the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's just definitely feels like there's a lot of forced drama in the NFL, and they're trying to do everything to keep from anything from keeping people to change the channel. The Vikings definitely should have won that game. Probably should have won by about 10, and you question sometimes what we're doing and then what we're really trying to predict. Are we being manipulated? I don't know. It's just a theory, just something that has been noticed. I mean, I think that we were in the Discord today, basically predicting play-by-play what was going to happen. Oh, the Vikings are going to do this, and this is going to happen, and it just became too predictable to the point where you might as well just wait till the fourth quarter, last 2 minutes of the game, and then kind of see the end of the game. But either way, let's get on to the play of the day, and we'll be looking at Monday Night Football as we will be looking at the Seattle Seahawks. We like them on the spread at 6.5. We also like them on the money line at plus 220. Now, this is kind of strange for us because we definitely see a lot of money coming in on the Seahawks, and I honestly believe rightfully so. You definitely have the Seahawks who are 7-2, and you have the 49ers who now are undefeated at 8-0. But like we saw last week, we definitely feel like this is another opportunity where we're going to see another 8-0 team in their streak, and there will no longer be an undefeated team left in the NFL. And I think that for a couple different reasons. You have the 49ers who, I think their strength of schedule is not, I think it's been very conducive, much like the Patriots, and it definitely kind of padded their numbers in a way. In fact, they've only played two teams with winning records, and those are the Rams and the Steelers. Now, the Steelers that they played were in week 3 with Kyle Rudolph on his first start, and that game actually ended on a game-winning drive by Jimmy Garoppolo. And then the Rams, albeit I think are 5-4, have not looked like the Rams, of last year, the defending, the Super Bowl Rams. So I think part of it has something to do with just their schedule, because the rest of it has been sub 500 teams, and I think that they're getting a lot. Not going to say that their defense is not as good as it was, but I don't think it's been exposed yet to any signs of actual, actual competitiveness, if any sort. So I definitely think that there is a mixed skew there between the competition level between these two teams. I think the two losses that the Seahawks have had, have been against the Saints and they've been against the Ravens. Two teams the 49ers have yet to face and will then face the first 2 weeks of December. Also, these two teams are in the same division. This is the first time that we're going to meet each other, and then they're also going to be playing the last game of the season together. So I think the fact that the Seahawks are 2 games behind the 49ers as far as the division race goes, I think this is a very important game for the Seattle Seahawks to go into Santa Clara, grab this win, especially knowing that they have the Ravens and the Saints coming up on the 49ers schedules. This is definitely a spot where they think that they could probably gain an extra game in them, because I'm predicting that last game of the season is probably going to matter. You may decide who wins that division. They're at home back in Seattle. So for a lot of those reasons, and several others, we definitely like the Seattle Seahawks tonight. I would suggest that you could probably put a 2-unit play on the 6.5 if you don't feel comfortable playing the money line. But for our channel, we'll be playing both a unit on each. But again, if you don't want to take the risk and you just want to be, I definitely still think there's enough value on just playing the spread at 6.5, because I think that there's a high chance they're going to cover this. And I think the only reason why the public is backing the Seahawks in this situation is because the Seahawks won in overtime against Tampa Bay, and then the 49ers failed to cover last Thursday against Arizona. I think had the 49ers been able to cover and possibly Tampa Bay been able to upset and or had covered, I think the public would have faded Seattle and taking the 49ers. So definitely there's a lot of recency bias and why the public is supporting the Seahawks in this spot. So unfortunately, those things didn't go our way in the sense that that's kind of what we would have preferred. But we also, had, the Arizona last week. But either way, enough about all that. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content that I'm giving out. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I will also be leaving a link to our Discord and our Twitter, so please give us a follow on both of those, and I will see you here tomorrow with another free pick. Bye.